Just a minute. I'll tell you when it's live.
It says Fast Life is live.
Okay, so let's start over. Start fresh.
So, sorry. Thanks for hanging in there, if you have. We've had some crazy technical difficulties.
Hi,
but
I'm here too.
This one doesn't ever give up.
This is so not how we planned on this going. So we're here, and we are the husband and wife team of Fast Life TV. We're in Derek's office rather than in the car that we're going to be in. Actually, the car, the Mexican blue. Is it okay to call it Mexican?
Mexico blue.
Mexico blue?
Yeah.
Sorry. The Mexico blue Chevy SS actually sold this week. And the red SS that we were going to shoot this in.
Might be able to see it if I... Maybe.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's over there.
I don't think that's important anymore. We're past that.
Okay. Sorry. Here we are again.
So, tell them what we're doing with the live feeds and what we're going to plan on doing once we get this better.
So most Fridays, Brooke and I will be coming to you live from a super cool car that we're excited about, because that's what we're about. We're about cars. And we want to be sharing messages about what's working for us, what's not working for us, and just giving you more value with the YouTube channel. Today we're talking about chasing your dreams.
Yes, and unfortunately, because my technology isn't working, I can't see your questions coming through on the feed. So if you would do us a favor and go on to our social media for next Friday, since we're having technical glitches today, I'd rather you go on social media and type in some of your questions for next week. We'll, on this particular post that we put up there, so find us on Facebook or Twitter, actually Facebook. The icons are at the top of our YouTube art on the top of our page. Click on one of our accounts and go to the advertisement for this particular live feed and click on one of our pages and type in your questions there for next week. What you want to know about racing, what you want to know about Derek's path to race, what you want to know about following your dreams, anything like that. We have a few things that we want to talk about. We wanted to have a conversation, but now Derek's holding the phone up like this rather than in the holder, so his arms are probably going to get kind of tired.
So just hang with us. We're ad-libbing a little bit now because the plan just hasn't been exactly coming together. But I've got to say that...
I'm going to see while
I'm
you
going to
talk.
come sit over there. I'm going to come right over there by you.
Okay.
I'm just setting it up. But I was trying to give you some props for a second because Brooke has been working like every hour of this week. So it's not that we're unprepared here. It's just that I saw her and everything that was working against her getting this up, and she kept pushing and pushing and pushing and going. So here we are, and we're not in the awesome set that we had all set up, so we're going to be in some bad light with bad sound with an awful background and a wobbly camera with a rookie camera selfie holder. I'm now going to prop this up in my business card holder on my desk, and then I'm going to go sit down next to Brooke.
You probably don't need that key in there.
It's keeping it from falling over.
Oh, okay.
Hey, here we are.
So we're here to talk about today. I actually kind of wanted to do a little bit of an interview set up with Derek to talk to him about sharing with you his experience of following his dream. So you can see my shirt, which is backwards because we have that on selfie mode. So this is really awesome. I think we have everything kind of a little bit off, but I guess that's real world and that's real life. So my shirt says living the dream, which I actually really feel like I am, even with all the things that don't work out and don't work. I feel like we are living the dream because we're actually like doing stuff that we want to do, even though it's super duper hard. So I think my first piece of advice is, no matter how hard it gets, keep pushing, keep going, don't give up. I think that's a really big aspect to being successful. And I think we're partway there. Last year, Derek had a super successful racing season. But then we found that he didn't have funding for this particular season, which is a big issue with sports car racing and any racing in general. It's a hustle to get that sponsorship and funding taken care of. So we are currently trying to sort that out. And Derek's been working his butt off, excuse the expression. And, I think about once a week we each want to quit. And what I'm learning is number one, things don't have to be perfect. And number two, if you quit, you'll never know what could have happened if you would have kept going. And so, I mean, we're praying people. I, this week, have just asked God to shut the door. Shut the door and make it totally impossible for either of us to do the things that we're trying to do if you don't want us to do them. And we're putting our trust in God. So that's kind of how we approach, the little thoughts that come in to make you want to quit when you're trying really hard at something and it's just really hard.
We beat the technology test then, huh? 'Cause
Yeah.
here we are.
Maybe, except we can't see any of their questions, which is a total bummer.
Will it mess it up if I
why don't
try
you
to
talk
scroll
to
this?
them a little bit, and I'll look on the computer. Why don't you tell them a little bit about how you started? And
That's right. That was part of our original script, wasn't it? Yeah. So for us, and kind of the path on getting, down chasing these dreams, it was when Brooke asked me what passion I hadn't chased yet, and up to that point in our marriage, I had never really even mentioned race cars other than watching a Formula One race occasionally on a Sunday or something. But my quick, easy answer was, I want to be a race car.
I just got it.
Yeah, perfect.
So I'm going to mute this, and then
yay.
and Molly's there, and John's there
Hi,
too.
Molly and John.
Oh man, you guys are our tireless fans. We love you guys. Okay, I just got the screen up working, so now we can see your questions.
Did you mute that?
I muted that so
Perfect.
it wouldn't distract us.
So
It's almost like a private lesson with Molly and John.
how not to go YouTube live. Maybe retitle it that here. And to me about what passion I hadn't chased yet, and race car driving was the quick and easy answer. That was my dream, I think, since I was a tiny little kid, and what I cared about when I was 6 years old. That's what I drew pictures of. That's what my crayons were doing, was making racing cars. It was helpful and easy that there was somebody like you that was so forward-thinking and open to say, what crazy thing do you want to do that you haven't done yet? Because I don't know if I would have got there just on my own, but I've certainly learned a lot along the way.
And proof that Derek, you probably saw this if you're on social media with us, this is Derek, as a little tiny boy, age 6, suited up in his race car gear. He spent a lot of time at the track with his dad. Much to his dad's dismay, he's now still pursuing race car driving. I'm sure that's sometimes maybe not the choice, but I think they come along and they enjoy.
He does love being at the races.
Yeah. So, okay, so I had a bunch of questions, but I got a little flustered with all the technology. And I think, why race car driving, or how did you sort that out? I mean, I just showed that picture of you as a kid. So obviously you had some experience with it as a kid, and your dad raced, and your grandpa was into racing. But how did you had this whole gap, until you met me, in your later 20s, you didn't say anything to anybody about racing. You weren't racing. You were doing other stuff, wakeboarding, wake skating. So how did you come to the conclusion that this is what you're going after? This was your dream.
I think the only thing I can think of as far as a 6-year-old, I think it must have just been a super cool thing to look at and see, and those guys in the superhuman fireproof outfits and these cool sparkly helmets and these amazing loud cars. That was just something I wanted to do. And then as far as the gap, I think it's just did the phone die?
It's still.
Okay.
I don't think so. Oops.
Ah.
Shoot. Why did it go off?
It is Mary though, it's there. I see it.
Okay. We're back.
Alright, here we are. Oh, Sarah's on too.
Awesome.
Hello, Sarah.
Okay, sorry. Technical stuff.
The gap. I mean, it's not like a normal sport. It's not like you can just sign up for high school race car driving team. So I did all of those normal sports, the stuff that was easy access. It was big in the town that we lived in, and in the Northwest there's not a whole lot of race car driving. So there was a giant gap, and I think honestly I didn't know it was something that I could get to do. It was something that those other people on TV were doing. Until you asked me and kind of gave me permission.
But I didn't know you could do it either. I just said, I was just the possibility thinker, a problem solver, just that's how I am. If somebody says, I really, really want to do this, or I'm dreaming of doing this, I I feel like you should try that. So I guess I gave you permission. You say I gave you permission, but really, I just kind of said, okay, well, what do you do to be that? And then we kind of signed you up for a Skip Barber class.
Yeah,
So.
and then just kept going, and we're still going and still pushing and still trying to like knock our way through doors. When do you know that like you're having to try too hard, or is that just how great things are? They require that.
I don't know. My thing is I always look for like little signs or like things like confirmations, right? Like Fast Life, our YouTube channel has been kind of hard for me to set up a huge learning curve. Like, get to that place and message, and they'll be like, "This is so inspiring," or "See more this or that," and it'll. I think I looked for those same signs when you do. Like, my friends with you ask him, "Is this like how's Derek doing?" Like,
well, just the other day in the kitchen, you were telling me like you were nervous because like, what if he's bad? What if he can't do this?
And then number two, you want to make sure like you're encouraging somebody on the right track. Like, you don't. I mean, you don't want to send somebody out there in an unsafe sport if that's not what they're meant to be doing. And again, I put a lot of trust in God, so I trust if God designed Derek to do this, that there will be safety built into that. I don't know, maybe that's crazy, but that's how I think.
Seems to be working so far.
Yeah, and I think, well, I also believe what you think becomes reality, so I'm planning on that working ongoing.
Gosh, I got to work on that lately. It's been there's so many ups and downs, and I think any dream chasing, certainly in racing,
Mm-hmm.
Any moment you get in the race car, I think there's higher odds of it not working out perfectly versus working perfectly, and we've been lucky enough to experience a few really good highs, winning at Le Mans, winning at Road America, finishing in the top 10 in the first, time at the Rolex 24-hour, at Daytona. But that's 4 events. How many more have there been? A wreck or a crash out or a car that didn't work or whatever. Although I will say, in my 4 years with TRG, I have a 100% finishing rate, which is
That's
one
awesome.
of my most proud stats. But it's one of those sports and chasing dreams in general. You sometimes wonder why you're even putting yourself in that position, because there's such high odds to fail, and for those really low moments, and there's a lot of those, and then a peak, and you go, oh, that's why I'm doing this. That was amazing.
Yeah. I think also I brought along this book just as a recommend for those that are watching, and our stream went to a different stream, so in the description box it's not filled out yet, but I will do that post our conversation today so that you guys have links to these things, because I'm going to hold this up and it's going to be backwards. But the book is The Outliers. I don't know if you guys have read it. It's by Malcolm Gladwell, and he has a whole section in here about how honestly, there is a rule in research that's been done that 10,000 hours of work at something is what will make you proficient at that thing. The unfortunate thing for a race car driver is, how the heck are you ever going to afford to have 10,000 hours on the track? That's the reason we showed you the episode this week, which was Derek at the local kart track, looking to purchase a new kart for training purposes until he can get back out on the track. And then Derek's made himself really valuable to the team, at least I think.
Tried to, anyway.
Yeah, and so they call him for, I'm going to hit on this screen so it doesn't go off, but they call him for testing and training and teaching and coaching days now, which is really awesome. So he does sometimes get paid to do that.
I love those. It's just time in a car. It doesn't matter what it is. And I think that's what I said in the karting episode. It's like, I forgot what a great training tool this is. And certainly people in the racing industry understand it, and they know that that's normal. I think there are some people that don't follow racing. They're going, what's he doing goofing around in that little play toy? And, at the very top end of the sport, Formula One drivers still practice and train and do events in cars. It's just, there's nothing that can replace being behind the wheel of something. And
Is that going to go off? I can't tell. It keeps going dark.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think so. We're still there.
But,
Sorry, guys.
Things just happen really fast in a cart. If you can be on top of a cart, you can be on top of anything.
Yeah.
Race car-wise, I think.
Well, and like you said, there's just muscles and, response time training and all of that you can't really get in the gym because it's just a whole different type of thing, So you need that time behind the wheel. and keeping yourself sharp that way. And so the 10,000 Hours thing, this is a really, really good book. There's a lot of other really good points in here, but that was the one that stuck with me. So the question that you asked earlier about how do you know when you should give up or quit? Well, either, first of all, you've asked yourself the question, is this the right timing for me to go after this? I don't know if you want to hit that so it doesn't go off. For me to go after this, and you answered yes. If you answer no, then you know that's maybe a good time to step away from going after that particular thing. And then the other thing is, have I put my 10,000 hours of work in? Have I really given it like the 100% try? Or am I just quitting because I got like one annoying bump in the road, like this week with me with technology? Like I almost didn't go on live.
I bet you have 10,000 hours of troubleshooting, 10,000 hours of film editing.
Yeah. Luckily I have help. And part of going after your dreams is being able to ask for help. And that's really hard for some people, especially independent people or people who've had hardship in relationships or whatever. I don't know why that keeps doing that.
We'll have the technology part totally dialed by the next time. So this is the guinea pig run. And
we can edit through this and put it back up on YouTube for highlights too, I think.
Cool.
I actually didn't press record here, so maybe I can't.
Oh, there's another person on there.
Awesome. Welcome.
Rewind Remix came on.
All right. Welcome.
That's awesome.
And Anders. Did you see Anders?
Oh, no
Hi,
way.
Anders.
Hey, buddy.
Okay, so we've talked about like the work it takes to go after your dreams. We've talked about, when you quit, how you got started in the sport. What else do we want to talk about? There are a few
Did we
other
talk
things
about
that
balancing
really...
dreams and work and family and the fact that Haley's waiting for me to go get her at school probably right now?
No, and then I have to get Ryan too. And, well, for us, we're parents. We have 3 kids. So it is challenging sometimes to balance all of those things. But one thing I'm noticing is the girls are probably developing a lot of skills and watching. I actually had a friend call me the other day and compliment us on how hard we're working and how much that must be a gift to our kids. That our kids are seeing that we're working hard at something we really, really love, and that's going to teach them to go out there and do that as well. And we certainly try to prioritize family and make sure that we make time for them. This week I wasn't super good at that. There are highs and lows with that too. But I think with anything, it's a balancing act. But I think it's important for your kids and your family, also for the health of your family, that you should go after your dreams, because if you're not happy, nobody's happy, truly. And then so that leads us to the question of, can you have an easy life and be fulfilled? What do you think?
I think that the two things don't really go together. I think being fulfilled means that you're probably doing something outside the box, and that probably means it's not something really easy, and it probably means there's a lot of hard work involved. And I think that there's nothing wrong with hard work. Hard work can be really, really enjoyable when it's for or towards something that you're passionate about. So that's totally true for me with racing. I can't think of a weekend or a time or an event that might have been a 18 or a 20-hour day even that wasn't totally enjoyable. When you're in your element and doing what you love to be doing, and the work is fun and fulfilling. So that's my answer on that one.
I think it's a gift to the world, to your kids, to your families, to your friends, to follow your heart. And this is one thing we skipped when we talked about Derek doing, liking racing when he was a little kid. I've taken some courses and read some books, and also had a life coach. Can you help me with that?
Oh, sorry.
I have to kind of stay on that screen because I didn't fix the settings on my phone. But anyways, I've worked with a life coach and read a lot of books that say the same thing, which is, and I'll put those down in the description box of this post for you guys to link on and go to. But when you're looking back to when you're a kid, 6 to 8 years old, what you love to do at that point is probably truly what you should be looking to do for a career path, or if you don't have to have a career, just doing in your life to find enjoyment, to just look back when you were a kid and see what you truly, truly enjoyed, and go for that.
Were you making movies?
Huh?
Were you like dreaming
I
about
did.
making movies when you were 6?
I kind of don't want to embarrass myself and tell them like what I mean. Like we like reenacted like the Nancy Kerrigan, Tonya Harding thing in a movie. It's so horrible. Like that was a horrible thing.
You were from Portland.
And then interestingly enough, I met Tonya Harding at a leadership camp, which those two probably don't go together. But anyways, when I was a kid, I was playing Office in school and organizing, my brother's movies, like kind of corralling him. He was like the super creative, and I was like creative but more office-y. And so now I produce stuff. And Derek was, running around, burning the holes in his Hot Wheels, going down the driveway. And so, look to what you enjoyed when you were a kid, and that's probably what you should be looking to do now. And just go for what you enjoy. And so maybe I'm not quite where I want to be, like this living the dream shirt, but I think living the dream is the process of going, following your heart and going after your dreams. I think that's the key thing that we wanted to drive home today and like really share with you.
Yeah, and we did skip over some of the first stuff that we were going to talk about, and that was we talked about getting real honest with yourself and being courageous enough to identify and then admit what that dream is. Because sometimes it seems so far-fetched. It's like, I can't go around telling everybody I want to be a professional race car driver, or I can't go around telling everybody I want to be a movie maker. So I think that's a big part of it too. And sorry, we're a little bit jumbled on our order today. Just gave you all the excuses earlier that we had.
And for me, I don't think I ever really worried about like telling somebody I wanted to be a filmmaker. It was just like, how do I do that? And it was hard to figure it out. And then there were things like, as a woman, you don't know. Like when I was a younger person, I didn't know what would be good for me to do. And then I just had a ton of fears, And so other life things kind of came in because I allowed myself to get distracted and have other things going on. Of course, this was a good distraction, so I'm grateful for that. But I think sometimes it's just really scary to I think sometimes the thing we're most afraid of is the light within us, or the thing that we actually could go after and be good at because we're afraid to fail. So that leads me to a quote I want to leave you with today. And
sit at the wheel.
I think it's by Dr. Edwin Land. An essential aspect to create Sorry, let me start over with that. An essential aspect to creativity is not being afraid to fail. So I think that's number one. And I think really dealing with that within yourself and just becoming totally okay with things not being perfect, maybe having some failures along the way to going after what you want to do. I think that's probably the most important thing to get in your head. That it's okay if you fail, because we learn probably the most from failures. When things are smooth and going really super awesome, we're not really learning, we're coasting. And so, and then the one that I just hold on to every day was, and I love Nelson Mandela, everything that he stood for. But it always seems impossible until it's done. And so I think, again, back to if we're going to quit, we're thinking about quitting, just remember that. Everything that you try that's worthwhile is going to seem impossible at some point. Just work through it, because when it's done, you're going to be able to look back and be so proud of what you accomplished. So, and the last one, creativity is inventing, experimenting, growing, taking risks, breaking rules, which is an interesting one, because we're all taught to follow the rules, right? Be nice. It's not that you want to not be nice. Certainly we need more kindness in the world. Making mistakes. So here we go again, that theme, and having fun. And Derek and I are in the phase with the sponsorship for racing, wondering, gosh, how many more mistakes do we need to make? Are we going after the right things? Are we able to provide enough value to somebody to have the sponsorship happen? Is the channel, is Fast Life TV what you guys want to see? Message us. Get involved with our conversation on the channel so that we know what we can produce for you, because we want to inspire you. We want to teach you about racing. I think the biggest reason why I started this whole channel was because I saw so much possibility in it. I was so excited by what I was seeing and what I was learning in the racing world. And it wasn't just the glamour of it. That's not really for me. Certainly that at first that was kind of interesting, looking at the race car drivers and their wives and what must their life be like and stuff like that. But once I got there, I was like, okay, that's boring. Like, let's tell this story. Let's like talk about the mechanics and the cars and the team owner who's awesome and quirky and fun and funny and the live life to the fullest attitude that you see at the racetrack. I mean, I think that's the thing I like about it the most is the people.
A lot of like-minded people. That are, it's a passion sport, a passion job. I mean, it's not easy to own a race team. It's not easy to be a mechanic. It's not easy to be a driver. It's something that you have to be courageous and chasing things to be there. And I think that's probably the part that we love the most about it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Anders said something. Can I read it?
Yeah.
Crazy that you guys have come so far, almost 200 subscribers. Thank you, Anders, and you're part of that. You were an early adopter. I call people like you an early adopter. People who, like, jump in at the very beginning and believe in you before they actually see, like, you know, what you're doing. And you were so excited about us from the beginning, and that's so sweet, and we appreciate it.
We're baby stepping. 800 more till we can get a 1K.
Yeah, if you get to 1,000, sorry I keep stepping forward, but I forgot to set my phone to not sleep.
Yes.
Is that what it's trying to do? Trying to go to sleep? I feel like I could go to sleep. I will go to sleep after this because this has been a little stressful.
It's Friday. We're going to go grab a glass of Chardonnay after this.
Oh, yes. We can celebrate it. And I wish you were all here to celebrate that with us. Can I ask a favor of any of you that are on? Can you invite like 2 or 3 friends to come over and like watch our stuff and tell them if you like it, share it out. Because I think at this point we're on the cusp of really kind of growing and becoming, you know, more noticeable on YouTube. YouTube has they kind of stair-step you into being able to have different privileges. And they have if you get 1,000 subscribers, you get to be noticed, or you can apply to be in their On the Rise program. And then they do more stuff for you to get your material out there and known. And so, you know, anybody that you can kind of encourage to help us out at this point, and then also provide feedback, because at this point we're growing. And I don't know if you've seen the growth, those of you that have been watching, but we've been doing a lot of stuff to kind of improve the quality of content on our channel and the look of it. And we really want to make material that you want to see. So our next step is to do more how-to stuff. So, and we're going to do more like tours of the car, tours of tracks with, you know, Derek telling you about what it takes to get around that track. That's going to be really exciting.
We'll be doing some interview stuff too when we stumble across somebody that we'd like to share with you, or if you all have somebody you'd like to hear from that maybe is in our circle, we'll be doing that. But like we said, most Fridays we'll be shooting probably from a car that we're excited about.
Yes, next time we'll get to you guys from a car.
Or possibly from somewhere that's a little bit more studio-like than sitting in my office with all this weird
poor
stuff
lighting
and then sometimes, and hopefully, we'll be traveling.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to go live from a racetrack so you can just be with us at the track.
My team, the Racers group, is at VIR right now. I think practice 2 just got finished. We didn't watch it because we were doing this. It's so hard not being there, but I wish them all the best. We got 2 cars on the track this weekend. And then one of the other things we intend on using this channel for is to make announcements, to keep you in the loop. There is going to be some racing for me this season. Mm-hmm. We do have a couple new partners that are in the mix. Certainly, you know, we still have great things going with the Racers group. BRM Chronographs continues to support
we'll fit our BRM today.
LaSalle Solutions is one of our awesome friends and team partners. Prada de Estrada, and of course we're still representing Racing for Cancer. We might even be out in Indianapolis for the 500 and supporting one of their events out there.
We were hoping to get an interview with one of the drivers, but we're not sure if we can. We got to get this figured out first, the technology.
We're going to say hi to Mason and Kate just in case they're watching or they watch us later, because we still are.
We love you guys.
Supporting them.
Tell them who Mason and Kate are in case they don't know, because we haven't done an episode about either one of them yet.
Well, I was trying to kind of move towards a close because Haley's going to be freaking out that I'm not picking her up yet.
Yep.
Mason is our good friend fighting a type of brain cancer up in the Seattle area, and he is kicking butt back at school, doing awesome. Kate is another really strong little friend and survivor and fighter down in San Diego area. and she also is. They're both winning, so we
Yeah.
couldn't be more proud to be helping them, and actually maybe more the other way around, them helping us. There have been times where I felt, and I think about hard is what they're going through. So,
And we gotta love each other, and it's loving energy of supporting somebody through a hard time, no matter what it is so healing. And we've watched their recovery through this process, and I think that's probably been the most rewarding thing we've done out of this whole thing is doing, racing for them. Gives a lot more meaning to the racing than just
exactly.
going around the track for ourselves and hoping for a trophy.
Exactly.
So
I wanted to leak a little bit of the news about the 2 new partners that are coming on board. Cause
okay,
I really think we're far enough along that contracts have passed both sides, and we haven't figured out exactly which markets are the main ones and the key ones to be in as far as which races. But like I said, there will be some racing. Most likely in Pirelli World Challenge, we've had so much success there. Back in a Sprint X car, and most likely at Coda and at the season finale at Laguna Seca. I am going to be an athlete and a brand ambassador for Castrol Oil, and I'm super excited about that in multiple ways. Company with a rich racing background. And then we're also tying it into our dealership life. So our dealerships will be offering Castrol products. And I just think it's a win-win for our customers and for the dealership and for the racing program. So we're excited about that. And Auto Lead Star is another one that's coming on board that you'll see on the side of the car. And we'll share a little bit more about what they do and how that's also tying into just our lives in general. So that's our 2 big partners that are coming aboard. And there's a whole list of others that we're working really hard on.
Hold on, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Coming in to fix the screen again. Oh, we gotta figure this out.
I'd say with that, we did get a little jumbled here, so we will, in the comments here, we'll go back through and kind of maybe list our bullet points and steps that we felt like we really wanted to share about chasing dreams.
I'm gonna do
We'll
that
try
right
to
away
address
after this.
questions that we didn't get to, and yes, please share, push, for thousands and
A
small.
lot of stuff that you guys want to see, so be sure to let us know what that is. Share it with your friends, ask them their feedback, and get input from them, and we'll keep bringing you the stuff.
Okay.
So thank you for joining us, and thank you for supporting us, and go after your dreams. Go live those dreams. Don't be afraid to fail.
Over and out. I don't think that shut off. Yeah.
I gotta find the way to shut it off. Just turn this off.
What was that live streaming little thing to go back to maybe live dashboard?